Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Amanda. So I thought I'd talk about second trimester. You know, I've just come out of, I'm barely out of the second trimester, I'm into my third trimester now. And why not make it a series? Because I already did a video on the first trimester, so this would be a nice little update. Yeah, and actually it's really weird because it went by so quickly. I didn't even have time to be counting because, you know, initially the first 12 weeks you're like 8 weeks, 7 weeks. I didn't do any of that, which was pretty awesome. But I'm gonna start off maybe with the things, the not so fun things about second trimester that you may or may not know, or nobody tells you and you find out and you're kind of like, okay, I'm not really feeling this so much. One of those is like cramping. That's just something that's been happening a lot, especially in the middle of the night. Like, I've had to buy this pregnancy pillow. I call him Bob. It's literally 6 feet long and I have to sleep with it pretty much surrounding me just so I can feel comfortable. And that's Bob is great, but the cramps and all that stuff hasn't been so much fun. And emotionally, I think it's also been quite interesting because it takes you on an emotional roller coaster. I am literally, I think I cry at the drop of a hat. Like, over stupid little things. I get really emotional, and that's just kind of like, okay, what's going on right now? But another not so fun thing, like it's not fun and it's actually quite embarrassing. And I don't know why nobody talks about this. Maybe I do because it's super embarrassing, but like, I have never ever in my life broken so much wind as I have during the second trimester. I mean, all the freaking time. It's not even funny, and it's like usually those really loud sounds as well, and you just kind of like, if it happens in public, you just keep walking, don't look at anybody, pretend you don't even know who did this. And that's been interesting. It's been funny because I live with 2 boys, like my boyfriend and my son, and they are boys. They do stuff like that all the time, and I think they're quite happy now because they feel like I'm one of them, and I feel like it's given them like a green light to kind of like be a bit more boisterous like that, because I can't really tell them off because I'm part of the club now. That happens all the time. And what other not so fun thing about second trimester, I think it's just kind of like really realizing you get a little bit heavier. Obviously the baby grows and all that stuff, so that kind of like slows you down a little bit. There's things that I can't do so much. I can't run upstairs and stuff like that. But saying that, I think from about 14 weeks to 25-26 weeks, I had the most energy I've ever had in a very long time. I was doing things. I was like, and it's been summer, so I was like going to festivals and doing a ton of stuff, and that was a lot of fun. And I think like it's the time as well when you start to feel the baby kick, so it makes everything so much more real, and you're just kind of like, oh, this is kind of nice. And then if you want, that's when you find out the gender of the baby, which I am not one of those people who is like, I want to be surprised, I'm gonna wait. I definitely wanted to find out. But as we know, with everything that happens with me, nothing ever happens according to plan. So basically at 16 weeks, we had a scan and another scan actually, because we had like an anomaly scan, and if you watch my first trimester video, we had like a bit of a scare and then it was okay. So at that checkup, I found out, we asked actually what the gender was, and the doctor like so nonchalantly was like, yeah, it's a girl, it's definitely a girl. And we're like, oh my god, I'm so excited. It's everything I wanted. I have a boy already, I'm gonna have a girl, I can have one of each, it's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna dress her up, I'm gonna buy little outfits, little tutus. I'm like, I got so excited, guys. I was just like, this is everything I wanted, you know, it's perfect. So from 16 weeks to about 21 weeks, I allowed myself to start getting, you know, really excited and start shopping, because up until then I wasn't really like buying stuff or whatever. I went to town, and I've always said no, I don't like the whole pink for girls, blue for boys, like girly stuff. But I bought tutus. Yep, I went there, I bought like all the girl stuff. I got super excited, and then we had the 21-week scan, and because we had like an extra scan, so I guess this doctor didn't know that we'd already had a scan and found out the gender. So she was like, oh, do you want to find out the gender? And I was like, yeah, I mean, we already know what it is, but if you want to confirm it for us, you can go on ahead, like so confidently. So like, she's like, la la la, doing all the stuff. And then she's like, guys, I see boy bits here. And I'm like, no, you don't. She's like, no, I definitely see a little penis here. And I froze. Like, I'm telling you, I literally didn't know what to say. I didn't believe it. I told her, no, you didn't. And she's like, no, I think this is a boy. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not a boy. And yeah, that was quite interesting, because right after that we left the hospital, and I was like really quiet. And then I was like, I told, like, thank God I haven't told everybody, but I had told, you know, my mom, my best friend. And I called my best friend, and I was like, she's planning to like do like she was planning to do like a baby shower, like gender reveal thing for me. And we was like so excited. I'm like, oh, we can have like the balloons, and we can like burst them, and like pink stuff can come out and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, girl, we're not doing a gender reveal, it's a boy. And she was like, no, you're lying. And I was like, no, I'm serious, they just say that it's a boy. And she was like, well, I kind of already ordered stuff and I've sent out the invites. I'm like, well, you need to uninvite everyone, because this is not happening. And I got so emotional about the whole thing. And I don't know if anybody's ever had that. Like, you know, it's so weird, because people who have not gone through it will be like, well, why would you? Your baby is healthy. That's all that matters, which it is, and I'm very happy that my baby is healthy. But I was completely devastated, because for like 5 weeks we named the baby as well. So I was talking to her, you know, I was talking to my little baby girl, I was getting excited and all these things, and then it's a boy, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. And I started crying. I remember I got home and I was crying, and not like the beautiful, like, I'm sad, like ugly crying, like like it was so bad. And like, I think Byron was just kind of looking at me like, I don't know what to do. I felt fully devastated. I'm not even gonna lie, I felt crushed. I felt like the rug, or what is it, the rug had been pulled from under my feet, if that's even the saying. I felt like that. And I woke up the next day and I said to Byron, tell me that was just a bad dream. And he was like, no, it's not a dream. And it took me about 2 days. For 2 days straight, I was super emotional. 2 days straight, I was like crying a lot, all the time. And then I was feeling guilty as well. I was feeling guilty because, you know, all the books you read, they say your baby feels what you feel. So it's like, I don't want this baby, I don't want the baby to feel like I don't want him or anything like that. But I feel like I'm grieving for the girl that I thought I was gonna have, and now I'm not gonna have. So it was just, yeah, it was a lot. It was quite a lot. And then because of all my health problems, I pretty much go to the hospital maybe once every week or every couple of weeks. So when I went for my next appointment, which was pretty much about like 3 days after that, they were like, I went and I saw like my obstetrician, and he was like, you look a bit down. And I was like telling him, yeah, it's because, you know, this just happened and I feel bad, I feel guilty, I know my baby's healthy and all that. And then we had another scan and I was like, okay, just confirm it's a boy for me so I can move on. And they're like, actually we can't tell. I'm like, why? Why does this happen to me? They're like, yeah, we can't really tell, to be honest, if it's a boy or a girl, because I don't know if it's because of the way the baby was or whatever. They couldn't see any like boy bits. But then I couldn't get excited and think, oh, maybe that person made a mistake and it's a girl, because this is like the 3rd time now. So like, what am I supposed to believe? So as it stands right now, we do not know the gender of our child. We have no idea. And I think if I was to wait, then I would have to wait until I'm 35 weeks when I have the next scan to find out. But I'm an impatient person. I am not going to wait for that. So we do have a 4D scan booked in, and I want to see this in 4D. If it's a girl or if it's a boy, you know how people get pictures of like the baby and the head? No, I want you to take pictures of the genitals. I want to see it in 4D, if it's a girl or if it's a boy, and then I can move on with my life. Because I kind of veered off onto that little story, but I thought it was interesting because gender reveal disappointment. I never thought I would go through that, but yeah. But apart from that, to be quite honest with you guys, I think the second trimester is pretty much the best trimester. You have you can feel your baby, so you feel more of a connection with your baby. You know, like there's certain things that like we do sometimes, like, you know, if my son speaks to my belly, the baby will move or kick, which is really nice. And other people can feel the baby as well, and the belly is kind of popping, so you look more visibly pregnant, so people can give up their seats for you on the train. You're not suffering in silence anymore. But it's been great. I've enjoyed it, apart from like things like the cramps and things like that, and actually learning to pace myself and knowing that, okay, look, you are growing a life. You can't like run around like you used to. You need to kind of rest and, you know, eat healthy and all that stuff. I personally think the second trimester has been pretty amazing. Don't know what the third trimester is bringing, because I already feel fully exhausted and I sleep all the time. Actually, I did that in the second trimester. That was the thing. Just dropping off, like at the drop of a hat. Like I'm literally sat here talking to somebody, and the next thing I'm like, like out cold. And then I wake up and I think I just dozed off for 5 minutes, and they're like, no, it's been like 2 hours, Amanda. So, but yeah, so I want to know how's your second what did I just say? How's your second trimester been? And have you had to deal with any gender disappointment? You know, like, I want to know about that. Let's keep the conversation going. You know, leave me a comment below and tell me about your experiences. And thank you so much for watching this. You know, it's really nice to kind of connect and talk to other people about what you're going through and feel like you're part of a community. If you want to connect with me more, find me on Instagram, where I am the most active. My Instagram handle is @mansmillie. You can find me on Twitter as well, and on Facebook at Amanda Millie. So until next time, guys, love the life you're living. Bye.